So good evening and Kung Hei Fa Choi. Welcome to Naveda's Season 2 talk series once again, which we kicked off on the 20th of January 2022. I am Veena Dansingani, founder, director, and alopecia hair loss specialist of Naveda Integral Wellness Center in Hong Kong, which is the first value-based integral wellness center offering a transformative health experience to its clients. Naveda empowers people to learn the functions of the body, mind, and spirit and provides solution for all using an integral wellness approach addressing human, planet, and social health. After running our very successful 80 is the new 50 panel discussions consistently for 9 months in 2021, Naveda, in collaboration with the Institute of Learning and Development, brings you our 2022 initiative, which is Eat Well, Live Well Talk Series, where we will learn from our thought leaders all about key subjects which impact people health, planet health, and social health. Today, we will be in conversation with experts about life during the pandemic, especially here in Hong Kong. We are in our fifth wave of the pandemic, and many people are very, very confused, panicked, and even anxious about the current status of the pandemic and not knowing exactly what to do or how they should really take care of themselves. We have today with us Sarah who is the chair lady of the Vegan Association. We have Shelley Bauman, who is the CMO of Heal.art, and we have Malini Hamlani, who is a hypnotherapist and a healer. And of course, we have Dr. Sanjay Nagakar. He's a world-renowned scientist, microbiologist, PhD from the University of Hong Kong. He has published more than 100 scientific papers, research report articles, conference abstracts, and has invented over 83 technologies in preventive healthcare, environmental science, ecology, and nutraceutical functional food. Last but not least, we have Mr. Lal Darinani, who is Naveda's 80 is the new 50 campaign ambassador, and he is Naveda's director, who has, who we have actually been learning from the last year, what has kept him healthy and happy and purposeful, and he has definitely been inspiring and keeps on inspiring people from all around the world, transforming their lives, bringing in a paradigm shift. So Naveda is a platform for all to live life Naveda way and to experience this paradigm shift as well. So welcome everybody to this discussion today. So first of all, Dr. Sanjay, please share with our audience, there are a lot of people from Hong Kong who have tuned in about the current status of the pandemic. Why are people in this panic situation? How come we've reached there despite, being so careful, Hong Kong being so careful, so conservative, closing down borders, but why, what's going on?
Nothing new. Thanks, Veena. I hope we are going to have some meaningful discussion today, and the audience can learn a lot from this discussion. So we try to make it meaningful and try to provide a very useful technical information. So from my side, I will try my best to give a very authentic, to the point information so people can understand what happened. So a little bit background over here, we are doing this public awareness campaign since 11th or 8th of January, I forgot the date, 2020. Okay, so it's almost 2 years. We have done I don't know how many, we don't have now count of the numbers of seminar. So we basically educated and empower thousands and thousands of the people from the common life to become the volunteer to take care of themselves and take care of the community. That was very, very important. And in order to do that, the most important thing is to understand what is the COVID and what is the corona and the disease and the impact of the disease, the spread and all those kind of things, right? So a little bit recap so people can understand, right? Number one, we human have a tendency that if we don't see anything around us and it's not happening to us, it doesn't exist for us. Okay, and that was the biggest mistake, and that is the biggest mistake, and that will be the biggest mistake in the future of the human behavior. Okay, so if something, so just take the analogy over here, like recently this volcano erupted, right, in an island, right? We are sitting in Hong Kong. That volcano eruption has no impact on us, right? It doesn't affect the Hong Kong life, but it affect the life those who were living near the volcano. And then like those who are living like nearby islands, so like over the time period, how is going to affect, right? So this is the logic everyone has to understand. I'm trying to give the logic that if you don't feel something, doesn't mean it does not exist, right? Second example, earthquake. If the earthquake is happen in Europe or China or US or any other part of the world, we just heard the news, but we don't care, right? That because we are not affected by this. So that's how, despite of having one of the best preventive support from the government and the participation of the public, we managed to hold COVID impact in the community for last 2 years. So during the seminar, we always keep talking about, long before the world understood this, that this is a kind of a very high infectious virus. So it's a repetition little bit for people to understand, those who are listening first time, that corona is a virus. Okay, so the name is SARS-CoV-2. That's the virus name. But when you get infected and have a disease, then you have a COVID. So COVID is a disease and SARS-CoV-2 is a virus. Now, what we need to understand, we need to protect ourselves from SARS-CoV-2 virus. And if we hold SARS-CoV-2 virus away from us, we will not get the COVID, right? This is very important. This is very important to understand, that we need to keep the virus away from us. And therefore, as a beginning stage, if you see like all around the world, people say like, wear the mask, wash the hand, all those kind of thing, lockdown, social distancing, physical distancing. Why? Because this virus should not jump from one person to another person. So when we took all those measures, what happened? That virus didn't get enough host or human being to jump, right? Because they need a human being to jump from one person to another person. So when they didn't have enough number, so far that was we call the sporadic uh, spread. The sporadic spread means the certain cluster, a small cluster got infected, and then this cluster is like control, and then we control that particular disease or cluster. And that's what exactly happened in Hong Kong. If you see the news of Hong Kong, recap the news, right? Some Buddhist praying area in Hong Kong Island side, some of the bars in like Lan Kwai Fong, some bands group. So it was always like a very small cluster. They find certain kind of cluster, and we able to identify that cluster, and then that's how we monitor. And the government always keep telling that, okay, there's a social distancing, hygiene and everything. But what happened, like if you see in 2021, we lower our guards, okay? We lower our guards. And then initially, like, it's like a little bit about addiction of human behavior. When we know that we don't have to touch each other, even we know like, okay, we are wearing the mask. I have noticed people wear this instead of a shake, they were so used to for the shake and they cannot stop, and they have to touch their hand like that or doing something like that. Why? So it's a lot to do with the human behavior. Basically, you are putting yourself in a contact with other person, right? This is the first thing which people always did mistake during the second time. Now government put the app, leave home safe. So it was a responsibility for the people that wherever you go, you like trace the barcode. So then your app knows where you are moving, your movement. So basically what happened, the leakage is these barcodes are placed in a commercial setting. So we can track all the people, those who are into commercial setting. But these barcodes are leave hope safe home is not apply for the individual family. So when the people like the commercial place shut down, the people started having the home gathering. Okay. And when the home gathering started happening, there is no traceability, right? The leave home app cannot track that where you're going and having a party. They can only track you like you go to this shop, this restaurant, this hospitals here and there. But they cannot track like they come to your home or my home or someone else's home, right? Because that app is not there. So what happened during the whole this particular time period, people catch it, okay? And then they were moving home to home. And somehow what happened, we develop few cases which become non-traceable. And that's where the main crisis started. Okay. So far in the previously how we managed, because every case was traceable. So when the case was traceable, immediately it was taken care of. But this time, what happened? The case was not traceable. We don't know from where the cases are, where these people are moving. So that is the situation today. There's so many people within us carrying COVID, the disease, and they are moving among us, and we don't know, right? That's where the biggest situation. And in my previous seminar, I said one of the very important part is the R naught. R naught is the infection ability of this particular virus. So usually what happen like flu and other things, when you get a flu, you can infect only one person to one, right? Or one to two, something like that. That is why flu never goes so bad. Like you have a flu, other person have, and it died down. But when this pandemic started, this COVID, the corona, SARS-CoV-2 has a R naught 3, means one person infect three infect 27, 27 infect like is an exponential, right? Now over the time period, you heard like so many variant came in and the variant become stronger and stronger and the R naught factor keep increasing. So right now it looks like the current situation, the variant, the R naught is somewhere 4 to 5. So one person is infecting, say for example, 5%, 5% infecting 25, 25 is 125. So it's an exponential growing like crazy, right? And all these people, we don't know where they are. Okay, so that is a very high risk situation. And that is why you can see that government is requesting people like compulsory testing, mandatory testing, isolation, lot of precautions are taken care of. So this is the answer and people need to understand we have so many people among us, we don't know. Okay, and it's very dangerous for Hong Kong because Hong Kong is a very high density place. So conclusion here is if you are not infected doesn't mean you are safe, because if you are moving, you are taking a public transportation, you are taking a lift, which common people are taking, right? So if you are moving right now, today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or last 2 days kind of thing, you are putting yourself at a risk and you're putting other person as a risk because you can be, we heard about a asymptomatic patient. So now we learn a lot in last 2 years, right? So there may be so many people around us walking as a asymptomatic or with the COVID kind of things, we don't know. Okay, that is why, like right now, we need to be very careful because we are into the community spread situation, because the numbers can go very high and high because of the infection rate.
So my question to you, Dr. Sanjay, would be, the vaccines, how effective have they been? I mean, everyone, many, of course, I'm not saying 100% of the population has taken their vaccine, but two vaccines have been done. And then now there's a call for a booster shot. Are you saying that when there are many more variants coming up, we have to keep boosting our immune system?
See, everyone knows, like, um, those who understand microbiology, or those who understand science, or those who are like a little bit using the logic. Okay, vaccine is not 100% production, right? So for example, I give like another thing, like when the people have the heart problem or the heart blockage, or like blood pressure kind of issue, you get a medication for the like blood thinner or the heart blockage. It doesn't mean that you will not get a heart attack. It depends on so many other factors too.
Mhm.
So vaccine is not like that, like you take a vaccine and you get a guarantee that, okay, I got a vaccine and I'm not going to get COVID. Because vaccine definitely, because everyone is saying that vaccine is giving you the good protection. So if you get infected, there will be a mild effect, but it not be as serious as without vaccine kind of thing. So this is a well established phenomena. But there's a lot of contradiction as well. There's a lot of people like don't believe in the vaccine and they have a different opinion. So what happened, like when it goes in this way, we see the majority. What you have to see that, like different vaccines are giving different percentage of uh, protection. Like some vaccine are 70% protective, some person is 80%, some is 50%, like that, right? None of the vaccine are saying they will protect you 100%, right? So the question is like the mild side effect, serious side effect, all this kind of things is there, but is because of the pre-health condition, your careless lifestyle. So it's a multifactorial thing. It's not like a linear system like 1+1, that you take a vaccine and this is a coronavirus here and it will not attack you. It's a multiple things around you, like whether your home air is clean, whether you are a healthy person, whether like you are eating a proper food. Like so many things are there. It's not a one single factor. Okay, so this logic of I have a vaccine and why I got a COVID again, I think like people need to think like a little bit more than that. You have a vaccine, fine, first layer of protection. You are, before that, yes, wearing the mask is the uh, sincerity, washing hand, keeping social distancing. Now vaccine. So you see, you have to series is like it's a kind of, that's what we're saying, the new norms, right? The new norms means like when we didn't have a vaccine, we were washing hands, we were keeping social distancing, we were like wearing the mask. Okay, we were like sanitizing us, so many things. But as the vaccine came, we add the vaccine into it, kind of thing. But the moment we add the vaccine, what we have done, like many people, they stop washing hand, they stop sanitizing hand. You see people around you, they simply wear the mask, or they are using one mask for so many days, right?
But I have a question here. I think there is nothing that Hong Kong has not done. And having said that, it's been 2 years already. As a person, in 2 years, I did travel over other countries. I am, first of all, I have to give a pat on the back to the people from Hong Kong because they are the most amazing, and the way they look after themselves is awesome in terms of practicing the protocol. So, like, having traveled to Europe, India, and all those places during the pandemic, and having experienced even the quarantine here, I just feel that there is too much fear. There is a lot of fear that Hong Kong is dealing with. I feel really bad for the people because they are doing everything possible. In fact, it's got the most rigid rules in the world. There is nothing that the people haven't done here. So I'm still wondering that why has it spread so fast? I mean, what is it that the people have gone wrong with or not done with?
Okay, so answer is very simple.
Yeah.
The logic of the virus is you don't need like a millions of virus to attack you. You
Hmm.
need only one cell and one person. Even though the 7
Okay.
million people, 6.999 million people are doing good, and
Hmm.
one person by mistake enter. Okay, that one person is good enough to spoil the whole city, is like that. Okay,
But
this
isn't
is
it good? Sorry,
this is
isn't
the
it good
technical
to
part.
just face and get over and done with like what the rest of the world is doing? Just live with it.
No, so see what is happening. Like, okay, there's so many things. Like right now, unfortunately, Hong Kong is like one of the most densely populated city in the world. Okay, other country has a lot of advantages, like say if you US, Canada and things like that, there's like the houses, like they have a distance, so they can live inside their houses, they are disconnected like that, they can go into the open air and all those kind of things. But unfortunately, if you see like the whole Mongkok area, Sam Shui Po area, there's a lot of areas in Hong Kong, is the density is very high. So we are actually in a very close proximity with the people, which we cannot avoid. And then the public transportation system. So unfortunately, the dynamics of the Hong Kong lifestyle is a highly dense. Therefore, the risk factor of Hong Kong is much higher than any other country. And that is why we had the most stringent rule in Hong Kong, because of this very nature. Because the close proximity is so close that if this go out of control, it's very difficult to control, because you are hearing the news like the vertical in like this transmission, right? That we heard during the SARS, right? So, what does that mean? That virus is not only infecting person to person, but is also going through the sewage. And that is why it is very clearly people saying like you close up your pot, and then like especially like the flush it, do the hygiene kind of thing. So I think like the toilet hygiene is a like, so we need to like put more kind of thing. But yes, as you see like in other part of the world, uh, they have a lot of like worse situation than us. But what happened, this is the nature of the virus. When they do lot of like things and then they settle down.
Hmm.
Hong Kong, because they, it's a new for them. Okay, it's a new ground, new niche. So obviously it will shoot up, right? So that is why people were saying it's not for a long, but we, if we sacrifice like let's say for 10 days.
Hmm.
Okay, let's say for 10 days, we say we take like, okay, 10 days, we have really done wonderful, and there's no doubt
Hmm.
about it. Like the Hong Kong people, Hong Kong government, everyone is like really one of the best example in the world to give, right? Let's do one same thing once more time, right? One more time, and
Don't you
then
think
just
easier
for
said
10
than
days.
done? Because now, it's getting to a point where it's affecting the mental health of the people. It's affecting the finances. I mean, how unfair it is to have gyms, yoga centers closed when at this point of time is this is health is what people need. It's very unfair to have businesses closed where finance is what the people need. So when the rest of the world is adopting that measure, why is that Hong Kong is being so rigid with things like that? I mean, what is it about this virus, in spite of having the vaccination, in spite of getting the booster shot? I mean, what is
No, so
like the fear?
the
Yeah.
fear is, see, this is the unpredictable thing. Like, so that's what you have to understand. Like I tell you from the scientific point of view. So there is a two perspective.
Mhm.
There's a like a common man perspective. There is a community leader perspective. There's a like different social organization perspective. There's a political perspective. But at the end of the day, it's a science,
Hmm.
right? It's like a nuclear bomb, right? So the thing is that like it's a very unpredictable in the sense like what happened, like this is a question, what happened like 1 million people of Hong Kong are suffering with COVID, Hong Kong will collapse. It will collapse for very, very long years. Then people have no choice to talk about like saving the job, saving this and that. So government is very much aware about it. They know that if Hong Kong goes that situation, Hong Kong is over. So to stop that, what do we call the collateral damage, right? So right now, that's what it is. We are saving Hong Kong, and then obviously we have some collateral. We have a difficult time with the people, but we are saving Hong Kong by doing this. That is the big thing people need to understand. People are thinking like, okay, there is a small vision that, okay, there is people are like mentally things and all those kind of things are happening. But now there's a bigger question. Okay, fine, we open everything. Who take the responsibility if 1 million people got infected? Is anyone come forward to take the responsibility of 1 million people get infected? Which hospital will come forward? That is the scenario. Like you see, there's a binary thought process kind of thing. So, okay, fine, we agree with you guys. But then, is anyone want to come forward for the community and say like, okay, if the Hong Kong go completely wrong and really bad, then I come forward and take a responsibility. That's where catch-22 situation is, because it's an unpredictable situation, right? So what happened when we know that it can be a disaster? So protecting the disaster is the top priority by having a little bit collateral damage. So we have a little bit difficulties, it's okay. But we know that, every scientist know that if Hong Kong we lose, we like lower the guard, its a density is so strong, we will not have an opportunity like other people. Other countries, see statistics, what people are missing out. You see the number of people died in different countries. Ratio. So there's a spread, right? So every country has Hong Kong is a one city. Now you take this city compared to what happened in New York, right? 2 years back. Can Hong Kong afford that? If same thing happened in Hong Kong is over. Why? Because New York is a country, is a part of the country. If something goes wrong, they got a support from the US government collectively. Whereas in Hong Kong, if anything goes wrong, it's only the Hong Kong government has to take care of it. There's no other government is coming and doing something like that, right? So I think like there's a thing people need to understand here. So best part is that's what I'm saying, that this is happening momentary. Like we go back. Last year, everything fine, done. People only the travel restriction, but like the life in Hong Kong was normal. Now this pandemic or this situation is going aggravated. So just support once again for 10 days, let's say, okay? And it is guaranteed that our contribution in 10 days will make a huge difference. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to do very long and all those kind of things. Just 10 days or 2 weeks will make a huge difference. So I think like we should like, so this is the scenario in Hong Kong, right? And then I think like we should advise our people like how to keep themselves protected, you know, like, because as you say, like there is a fear, people are worried and all those kind of things. So I think like, let's give people certain solution to keep your immunity up, your mental spirit up, get out from these questions of whether the vaccine is good or bad or side effect and all those kind of things. Focus on something. So I think like Malini, Shelley, and Sarah, you guys are here. All of us like give some advice to the people how they can live like or face this current situation at this moment. I believe so.
Yeah. So Malini, should we start with you? Would you like
Sure.
to share?
Yeah, being a student of hypnotherapy, yeah, it's all about the mind. And yes, what brings the immunity down is definitely the stress. and the anxiety. And what is anxiety? It's the fear of future, because everything is so uncertain in people's lives at the moment that there is anxiety. And yes, the first place that anxiety hits you is your gut, because that gets weakened, because that is where serotonin, that's your happy hormone, is made. So that gets affected, and that is one hormone we need at the moment just to be stable. So we go through these stages of loss, where first is like anger, irritation as to why it's happening again, guilt, blame, fear. Then we go to a stage of like, why me? Like, why is it happening in Hong Kong again after looking after, doing so much? Then the last stage, you have no choice but is that of acceptance. So we have to accept the stage and then do what we did, like what we were doing, get back to home, simple meals. One of the best techniques, yes, now since we have already faced and already know what to do, we know that panic, fear is not going to work, because that is only going to get us down. It's going to get spirits down. So I would definitely say meditation is one of the best things that you can do. Eat healthy, as in keep your diet as alkaline as possible. Vegetarianism is something I am totally, I promote as much as you can, because the meat, now what you're getting is frozen. I would say stay away from it because that's acidic as well. So keep your diet as alkaline, which means eating a lot of sattvic food, which
Satvik.
means, yes, fresh vegetables, homemade, clean, minimum spices, because right now it's to focus on your gut health, because your gut is your second brain. So the mind and body has to be connected. So your mind also lies in the gut. So I would focus a lot on keeping your gut clean and healthy by, sticking to sattvic food and by equal breathing. So whatever you say, breathing, that is the that is very important, the way you breathe. So if you're home, I know you can't go out, gyms, everything, walking, everything is restricted, but yes, you can sit down. And I would highly recommend people to sit on the floor. If you want to get like good health, give this time to sitting on the floor. Sit as much as you can on the floor. Eat on the floor as well, because this will help you digest your food better. So, sitting on the floor, eating on the floor, practice as much workout, or maybe just sit on the floor in a pose and breathe. And try to breathe at least 4 breaths in 1 minute. This will keep your mental and physical health in good shape. And rest, as I know you've been already, Hong Kong people have been doing wonderful. So, this is the easiest and the simplest tools I can give you all to.
I think
So,
Malini, I'm coming over here like with you is absolutely agree, and it's a very very useful information. You see, like, is anyone thought about sitting on a floor and eating it? It's has a tremendous impact kind of
yeah.
thing. So I think Malini, if you can put like a little bit more explanation for our audience, like if we sit on a floor and we eat in that way, how it
Yeah.
like really help, like, because it's really really a very important a point to mention about like the serotonin, the gut health and sitting and digestion and all that. So please help the audience by explaining this, how it's going to help.
Well, as a man, our body is not designed for sofas and sitting on the chairs. These have come in because of modern life. Our life actually in the olden days was sitting on the floor. Now, what happens is when you sit on the floor, automatically your mind connects with Mother Earth. You feel a lot more grounded, you feel a lot more centered. And at this point, it's very important for you to maintain that calm and chaos. So sitting on the floor, I mean, it's very easy for me to say that, just sit down, close your eyes and meditate, because that is not going to happen. There is so much panic news around. So physically, you can connect to your body by sitting on the floor. What happens is that your upper body, you're opening up your diaphragm, your thoracic portion. So the breath is going all the way inside into your body, up to your stomach, where it is actually supposed to reach, and you exhale out. That is the only way it can happen, is when you're sitting on the floor. Second thing is when you sit on the floor and eat food, it's a very different way to what you will, even the Japanese eat like that. Our old Indian position of sitting was in the lotus pose and eating the food. And after eating, we sit in a pose called Vajrasan, where we sit on our knees. This is again excellent for your digestion. And at this point, you're not only what you eat, but you are actually what you digest. So that is very, very important. And yes, it will just make your feet more, a little, it will also give you like a good stretch to the body where you have that blood flow. So these are very important things that you need to keep in mind in today's time, and very easy tools for not only you, but even your children around to practice. So try to play your games on the floor, try to do your art and craft on the floor. And it's actually quite nice to even take your pillow, lie down on the floor, watch your TV, take that little 15-20 minute rest. So between every 3 to 4 hours, try to give your mind and body a 15-20 minute of rest. This will also get your body to homeostasis, which is the need at the moment.
It's very interesting. Like, I like to add one thing over here, and because digestive health is so important, that one of the most effective immune response come when the digestive tract is clean, because some of like the T cells and other kind, it's a like more technical thing. Like, okay, let's put in this way, like our digestive tract has a lot to do with the immune response. If we have a good digestive tract, so it's not only about eating and digestion, but also maintain the clean tract. So because many people eat like a lot of like junk food or a greasy food, and then over the time period there is a lot of like layers in our digestive tract, so which basically cover up a lot of good cells, or I can say the immune response cell. And that's another reason, like, doesn't matter how much you try, like your immune response won't be good. So it's a very interesting information given by Malini, and I will really recommend all the viewers who are listening, please make sure, and like there is a new dialogue, you got it today, like, okay, sit at floor to eat, try,
Right.
there's nothing wrong at it, right? So and yes, I think we can guarantee you will see the difference.
Wonderful. So I'll ask, should we ask Shelly now? Shelly, how are you doing? You've been enjoying this conversation so far?
Yes, and I would actually agree with everything that Melanie has just said. So I
So,
don't have.
what anything that you'd like to add on? Because I know you mentioned earlier that in the last 2 years you have fallen sick. And how do you normally take care of your immune system? And what can you share with the audience?
Well, I actually use herbs. Like the only time I've gotten sick in the last 2 years was, I haven't prefaced this, but I'm with Isha, and so there's some herbs that Isha has had that they use in the ashram, and it's vile. It tastes awful, but it's very bitter. And I boil those herbs and take those, and within like a day, I think I might have had COVID or something like it, probably a few times, but within a day, I feel better.
So, do you know what those herbs are?
I can go into.
The herbs.
I can put it in the chat, but it's if you go into the Isha.
So I know you do take a lot of herbs as well, because I know you love buying our food supplements. Like
I
you
love your supplements. Yes.
yes, you do take turmeric, you do take neem, so you are taking a lot of these kind of Ayurvedic herbs which help with your immunity as well. So we do have Hema here, right here, who's an Ayurveda specialist and who can tell us a bit more about these herbs. So Hema, would you like to share what kind of herbs would be useful from Ayurveda during this time? Unmute yourself, Hema.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Naveda, for this opportunity to speak about Ayurveda on Ayurveda perspective on COVID. When it comes to Ayurveda, all, it's a holistic science which gives more importance to food, lifestyle, and well-being. Ayurveda has its own importance on treating, on is important in importance in both in preventive as well as curative aspect. On preventive aspect, Ayurveda mainly focuses on 3 points. First is Agni Palanam, that is maintaining a good digestive fire. That is, the madam was talking about that. Maintaining a good digestive fire is very important to make the body fight against the diseases. Here comes the importance of all the food, eat well, live well campaign and all. The food must be diet should be very balanced and nutritious. The food must be warm and it should be homemade. Better to avoid all kind of junk food and all kind of frozen food and all. To keep the digestive fire so strong. And the second one is maintaining a good bala, that is bala rakshana, that is maintaining an optimum immunity. Here comes the importance of our herbs like amalaki, guluji, turmeric, etc. These type of herbs we can make use in this aspect. As well as we have Aishkwad. Aishkwad tab is a mix of herb that is specifically formulated for COVID-19. So we can make use of that as well to maintaining an optimum immunity.
So what exactly is in the Ayushkwat? Do you have any specific?
It's a mixture of black pepper, cinnamon, tulsi.
Black pepper, cinnamon, tulsi, and also turmeric.
Turmeric, yes.
Yeah.
We can make use that, and we can use guluchi as well as the herbal teas as well. We have also the Ayushkwad tea, turmeric tea as well, cinnamon tea as well. So we can make use of all that in maintaining the optimum immunity of on health.
Right. So, Dr. Sanjay, I would like to find out more from a scientific perspective of these herbs. So, what do these herbs actually have that actually protect our immunity?
So it's very simple. See, immune subject itself is like, it's a very simple word, immunity, right? I mean, it's a kind of mechanism inside a body when body recognize some foreign particle like coming inside our body, so they respond to it, right? But the methodology and the procedure is like multiple folds, right? It's like 3 layers of immunity and all those kind of things. So we are not going there. We talk in a very simple language that, okay, let's say if you want to increase your immunity. So I really liked it, and I will go with the Malini's point, like the first point, that focus on your gut. Okay, it's not about what you are eating, but what you are digesting, because at the end of the day, your cell should absorb, and then only it will going to work. Second very interesting thing Malini mentioned about the breathing, because you see the breathing is also because it's like allow you the oxygen. So it's just like a kind of like put a jigsaw puzzle kind of thing. So you are getting a good oxygen, you are getting a good diet. Okay, this is like basically a nutrition is going on. But at the same time, when you put like anti-inflammatory properties drug, like for example turmeric and things, right? And at the same time there is a antioxidant. So there's an antioxidant property, anti-inflammatory property, and immune boosting property. There's a lot of information, a lot of herbs are there. So make it very simple, like play with the very simple word: anti-inflammatory food, anti-inflammatory like antioxidant food, and immune boosting food. And try to make a nice recipe. Like you can make a beautiful nice salad, you know, you can make a nice dishes kind of thing. And then if you don't want to do that, you obviously have a lot of that's what we call the nutritional supplement. There's a whole range about it, right? Now, what happened, like if we, our audience, our international audience, and if we use like Sanskrit and Ayurveda Indian terms, it's difficult for people to understand. But for example, like say, Hima said amlaki, amla, right? Amla is like a very powerful antioxidant, known as a play the role of vitamin C. But to explain the people why it is so good, so I would say like, okay, amlaki people don't understand, so I say it's the Indian gooseberry. The moment you say gooseberry, immediately people, all the people around the world understand, oh, it's a gooseberry we are talking about. And then you say it's the Indian gooseberry, right? So the Indian gooseberry, they have a two types. So the wild form is like much better, and even in Hong Kong, you get a lot of wild form of this Indian gooseberry, which is very small in size. Now the important part is the antioxidant value is around over 22,000. This is a kind of a measurement, right? So you are taking like a lot of berries, like we always say the berries is good antioxidant and immune boosting and all those kind of things. Usually what we see, the antioxidant value, which we call the OREC value, people don't have to go on that, is just like which one is a better and which one is like a stronger and which one is a milder. So technically we have the numbers, we have the unit. So amlaki or gooseberry stands somewhere very on the top as compared to wheatgrass or so many other stuff which is mentioned. So the idea is like, it's about you know or you don't know. So the Indian Ayurveda supplement are very well established in Europe and America, but unfortunately, or even Australia and Japan, but unfortunately, this part of the world is still like not that strong. So yes, it required a public awareness campaign on that. And you can say like the Indian medicinal plant in other word. Okay. Since we are talking about that, I will definitely explain one particular nutritional supplement which called Arjun. Arjun bark. You can make a Arjun bark tea because like it's for the heart health. And in COVID, the people, those who have a heart condition has like reported like a lot of like complication like that. So this is a message like the people, those who have pre-health condition. Okay, so mostly the heart people, the people have like the diabetic people, people have the asthma. These people need to be like a little bit more vigilant about their food habit or their supplements and all those kind of things. So I combined in this too. Yes, eating habit, how you are eating, right? Making gut clear. Absorption has to be good. Selecting the right type of food. Right type of food, three keywords: anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, immune boosting. These three things. Doesn't matter, like in Chinese culture, you have a lot of like local Chinese food, which Sarah will give like the Chinese perspective. So every culture we have this three. So let's use this three keyword. Doesn't matter which part of the world you live, you see what you get in your part of the world which support these three things, right? But yes, very, very important. Everything is okay. Don't forget to put the mask.
Another immunity. So Sarah, how are you?
Hi,
Are
today,
you enjoying this discussion?
yes, I learned a lot about the Ayurveda, the herbs that can help our body system. Sometimes when our lifestyle is not so, sometimes we work a lot. Our body situation is not good, so we need some herbs and or spices to help us to balance our body, to make us better, in a better health sometimes.
So, from your perspective, you being a Chinese, I mean, is there any practices which you follow or you followed and you think the public can also benefit from? I mean, I know you are very much into bringing a lot of awareness in the community to become vegetarian or vegan. and you've been doing that since the last 10 years. And how has that benefited you? And what would you like to share with the public?
Yeah, if we want to be have a healthy body, we need to concern about what the food intake. So like whole food plant-based diet is the diet that we are practicing, and there's a lot of information from the internet to tell you how to eat healthy food. Like
Sarah, sorry to like interrupt you. Just to clarify our audience, Malini has talked about sattvic food. So the definition in Indian sattvic food means what you are talking about. So it's a vegetarian or vegan or pure natural holistic plant-based diet. Okay, so that's what we call sattvic. So we are talking the same thing. So the audience should understand like what Malini has said or what other people are said or what you are saying. We are saying the same thing. We are using only the different language.
yes, exactly. I want to add that if we want to have a good, healthy body, or we have to protect our digestive system and need to protect it. Why? Because if whatever food intake, if we can't digest it well and we can't absorb it, so we cannot get the benefit from the food. So sometimes we would tell people get more exercise, like yoga, or so some exercise outdoor, and take more sunshine under the sun, and that will benefit your body. So that's my suggestion to.
So, Sarah, tell us. I mean, because you have been spreading awareness about becoming a vegan or vegetarian. Has I mean, how has that progressed or helped not only you but so many people? Do you see the same feedback from the people who have adopted a plant-based diet or vegetarian diets in the last 10 years? Because, yeah.
Actually, people they get benefit from the plant-based diet, because at least they don't have any harm from the animal meat, because they are made so much poisons, so much damage, that the kind of like antibiotic and some pesticide that they take from the plant they are eating. They was then they are absorbed by the body, and they cannot take away because sometimes the body cannot detox by themselves. So so we should get rid of those food that is harmful to us. So we better take more vegetable and fruit, better organic. Sometimes if we can't, but we have to take care of our body to get more good food. So
Sarah, there is a question.
I know. I know that there's a lot of people they got benefit because there are many chronic disease, they recover it from
Yeah,
the
so there is a
disease.
question coming to you right now. Like today, we talking about last through 2-3 days. You may have heard about this news when people heard about this lockdown and all the things. All the vegetables are gone from the market, right? And
Oh,
the
very expensive. Very
yeah, and
expensive.
the drivers, because like the cross border, like so because of that, like there's a shortage of vegetables. So that is the thing we say, like, okay, next 10 days what people are going to do. Like we need to advise, like there's no vegetable available. Is the vegetable enough supply of the vegetable will be there, or what are the alternates? So can you say, like, is there a lot of local farms over there who provide the local vegetarian local fruits and vegetables kind of things? Do you have any system so you can tell the people, you can give the address of certain farms where people can come and buy or take?
I
Yes,
would say, sorry.
there's a lot of farm nearby in new territories, and but it's quite a little bit more expensive than normal the vegetable from China. So we know where they are, so we can get those food. But actually we can do it by yourself. You can grow some vegetable in your balcony, just some
So, Sarah, next 10 days, right now, we are talking about today, right?
Short
Without
I
the
know.
crisis going
I know,
on.
just now you can do it now first, and then we can get the, of course the supply is not enough for us people, the whole population, but we can get those farm here in Hong Kong. Actually, we know
Here,
that.
what I would like to add is that we pay a lot of attention even to vegetables, but we forget about the legumes,
Yes.
which can be sprouted. So
Yes,
this is
exactly.
very quick. We could
Yes,
see the
that's
sprouting in 1 or 2 days. We don't focus on fermented food. So we've got
yes,
a lot in our Indian and Chinese and even Korean diet where we can ferment our food, which is a probiotic. Again, excellent for the gut. So, okay,
yes,
vegetables are not available. We've got pulses and legumes, which can add to our protein, magnesium. Sprouting will further add the vitamin C and help with the gut health. So we've got all our legumes which can easily be sprouted, and in a day or two, we can add them,
yes,
incorporate it to our diet. So this also alkalines the body, excellent for the gut, and great to make your salad very handy. Anybody can eat it. You can have it as a salad. You can have it as a vegetable. You can even put it in your smoothie. So these are very simple tweaks if vegetables are not available, and yet you can have the nutrition. And you can even make soups out of that. So that is one way of stocking up, like if we focus on pulses and legumes as well. And I would say, even if you have access to flowers around you, you can take some and just boil and have it in your, just have that boiled with some ginger. That itself, the breath of it will help activate happy hormones. And at the same time, they are known to bring down, let's say if you have blood pressure and you're having fresh hibiscus water, it's really excellent. You have access to lemon or something, add that in ginger. So this will help you with acidity as well. So now what is important is that we have to keep the body alkaline, because we all know by now, anything, if our body is acidic, it's home to any disease or it's home to any issues. So
Wonderful.
pulses and legumes would be my suggestion, in sprouting.
yes. That's the second thing that I wanted to tell people, that sometimes we use the mung bean, like Chinese people. They just a few days they grow a lot very fast. The mung bean sprout, and sometimes we do it and stir fry it with the noodles, and that's delicious as well.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So can we have some kind of common name? Because like, see, many people knows, like visually they look same, the Indians or the Chinese thing, but they don't know the name. But this is definitely because, like, when you're talking about the sprout, one of the very good thing, there's a very high amount of protein in it, so suddenly, like, your protein intake, your fiber intake, it's all go up. And then a lot of enzymes beside that, there's a lot of enzyme inside it. So yeah, again, that's what people need to know, like, because these are the unconventional eating habit, right?
Yeah.
People don't eat it, like it's like people never thought about it. But wonderful breakfast idea. And yeah, those who are traveling these days, I believe they see that there's a lot of sprouts in the breakfast around the world. So I think, like, Malini, can you touch a little bit more detail on that? Like, just give people like a little bit more recipe, like help them out to understand what they should do.
So I think any pulse or legume has that eye. So any of that, even if you buy wheat, like the whole wheat, we know we can make wheat grouse out of it. It can grow in 2 or 3 days. So that itself can add, you can even do microgreens. So any seed that is there, you plant it. And in fact, it's a very good activity, because you've got kids who are studying home online. make them do it, because it's a good tratak or exercise for their eyes. You know how much their eyes water and how sick they feel, they're not able to concentrate. So it's a good way, get them into planting their own microgreens and sprouting. It will help them and it will also help you. Number one, not only for your health, but it also activates the happy hormones which you need, because you're indoor, you can't go out, you can't go exercise. So at least these are activities you can do indoor. And you need something like as simple like as a throwaway paper glass, or if you have a plastic bottle which you're done drinking water with, cut it into half. You can use both the ends for sprouting, so you don't have to go out and buy pots and everything. You have a Coke can, cut it, make use of all those things. So get your kids to do this. And I would say that start your day with a protein, because it's best to start your day at this time, not with tea or coffee, because that's acidic. Start your day with something alkaline. So the first thing you wake up in the morning, your gut itself is clean. And these things don't only help you, they are high in fiber. Now, fiber, we all know, is cellulose, which does not get digested in the body, which means it's the first thing that will get out of your body. So all the toxins will go out. So protein and fiber are two things that you need to have in your diet. So right now, please stock up on the sprouts, water them, put them in the soil, do this tomorrow. And the best part is that you can boil them, you can freeze them. So for the next 10 days, you're well stocked up with different sprouts. And this you can just add some lemon, salt, boil, have it with some vegetables. You can make soups out of it. You can have salads out of it. You can even add like a spoon of, maybe if you have any oatmeal or anything, you can grind it, make a paste, add vegetables, have omelets. Those are vegan omelets. So I would say that if you're vegetarian and if you're vegan, stay away from the plant based meat that you're getting, because that is very high on salt, on high on sodium, which you don't need. So stick to something that you can make your kitchen your best friend. Everything that you need for your health, mental and physical, is available in your kitchen. There's no need to go out.
Yeah.
Just keep that kitchen stocked.
That's wonderful. And then I think, like on the Malini's note, if Sarah, you can add something, the benefit of mushroom, because like in the Chinese culture, there's a lot of mushrooms, like well studied mushroom has a immune system benefit, like effect on the immune system, effect on other antioxidant and all those kind of things. So do you have certain recipe or certain suggestion on mushroom? Because I think mushrooms are available.
Oh, mushroom. You can buy the dried mushroom that you can keep in your cupboard, and you don't have to keep it fresh. It's sometimes when you need a few mushroom, and then you soak it with the water, and then with the cold water, and then the mushroom will become soft, and then you cut it and put into soup and anything that you want, and to make the flavor. The flavor is very good for you to get the other food combined together and make a good dishes for you. So, but actually, I'm not a scientist. But I know it's delicious.
No, it's not about science. It is just like simply like in a layman language, we say like, okay, we are eating healthy, right? And everyone knows like mushroom is like quite a healthy stuff. And in a layman terms, we say, oh, like this mushroom is good for immune system, right? Something like that. So do you know like any mushroom which like
There is a mushroom called linshi. Is that called linshi?
Oh, this different thing,
there are so many
different
of them, yeah.
herbs.
Yeah, so many
There
mushrooms.
medicine
Yeah,
is.
that's a medicine. That's a medicine. Like means we are talking about the food
Of
side right
food.
now. Like that's Malini said, like it's a wonderful idea. Like, see, if you don't have a vegetable, like this is the one thing which I would like to add. Like when people are talking about so much eating green, like technically eating green so much, you are not getting a protein. Like most of the people in the world are protein deficient. There's a big issue going on. So what happens, like when we get old, right, We lose the protein mass, muscle mass very fast. Second thing, what people need to understand, what people don't understand, protein is not only about muscle. Everything in our body is run by protein. Steroid are protein, hormones are proteins, enzymes are proteins. Okay, our DNA, like all this, like the function and everything, there's a huge role of protein. So I think like if you put like the two combination, like say from Sarah and Malini, say, okay, use the plant-based diet, uh, understand how to like eat, like sitting on a floor, uh, make sure like the serotonin and the nice neurotransmitters are happy hormone, happy chemicals are coming out, proper absorption of the food is there. Okay, and then like yes, the protein, if you make a key component of your diet, then you go like other things, the fibers and this and that. And what you always have to say, like the vitamins and minerals, they are like the supportive system. They are not like the main pillar. Vitamins and minerals are like the supportive things. Like for example, in the COVID time period, yes, like zinc and selenium are well recommended. And if you have any food which provide you zinc and selenium, please take it. And if you can take it, just take a supplement, because it's well proved, like zinc and selenium is working on that. So people need to know the combination. We didn't we are not talking in detail, because if we go into nutritional science, it's like very comprehensive. We cannot cover whole thing. So here is just like we are trying to give the snapshot. And I think like as Hema touched certain things on Ayurveda, we have Sarah, like your traditional Chinese medicine, right? So in India, we have a very well researched on Indian medicinal plant. Okay, so Ayurveda is a kind of the terms we all use. Anything's come from India, but if we talk scientifically, we have the Indian medicinal plant. And if we talk about the Indian medicinal plant, as I said, there's the Arjuna, which is like a good for heart. Okay, there's a one brand in India like called Himalaya, and they have like this Live 52. Uh, it's became the global famous liver tonic or kind of things, because like it really um, heal your liver kind of things, right? So there are a lot of medicinal herbs which has proved in the past or evidence based that yes, they can heal many things in the body. So I think this is the first list. So nutritional supplement form of view is available in Hong Kong, so people can access to this kind of things. What Melanie is saying, it's very simple. I will add this: make your home these days as a Disneyland, so you don't have to go out, enjoy everything inside your home. And these small hobbies, like it's a great hobbies, like it's a kids can take interest, uh, everyone can take interest, grow, do it, something like that. uh, the last point which is missed out, I think, Melanie, I want you to add a little bit more about like the mental health, because like people have so many doubts and people having so many questions. um, like someone is in a favor of something, someone is against of something. So how you suggest people to cope up with their like this particular situation?
Doctor, it's at this point, like it's very difficult for me to tell someone that can you please sit down in the house and sit, close your eyes and meditate, because their mind is only going to wander. So that is one suggestion. If they are into it, it's great, they should continue. But for someone new into it, I would tell them that, okay, first get all the venting out. Don't keep any toxins or negative emotions in your body. First, deal with that, accept it, and it's okay to have them. So it's fine, you're going through anger, irritation, get that out of your mind and body first. And the nicest way to do it is by journaling. So it's a good time to sit and journal your feelings, that I am upset because it's okay for me to be upset. I am human. I'm going through this phase. It's fine. Now it's over. So journaling, I would say, is very important. Coloring. Coloring is also very, very good for your mental health, because the colors you use initially, what will happen? You may start with heavy strokes, dark colors, and all, because that is the venting space. It's as equivalent to if you've eaten a lot of junk, you are experiencing a tummy upset. So that is the toxin that goes out. So till that is not out of our body, we don't feed our body anything healthy. I mean, we don't feed our body food. We first release everything out. So similarly with your mental health, first release all the negative emotions. It's not worth keeping it, because it will only manifest into a disease. So release all of that out. If you feel the need to go and cry, please go ahead and cry. Crying is therapeutic. And no, you don't become weak by crying. You only come out stronger. It's only going to make you feel good and give you a good night's sleep. So sleep is very important. Don't take that for granted. Like how I said, art, coloring is important. Even if you're an adult, you need to let that inner child out, color, draw, take art seriously. Later on, you will see the difference in your strokes. And as you write also, as you journal, you will feel, as you heal, as you get better, you will see from the first page to the middle page, your handwriting has got changed, because your handwriting is associated with your subconscious mind. So first it may be untidy, the strokes would be different, whatever, but later on it is only going to get better. Practice affirmations and make sure that your affirmations are in the positive. I am in the best of my health. My day is good. So write affirmations. And also with that, as you have a journal, keep another book as a gratitude journal. So gratitude is the right attitude. It's the most important attitude necessary for daily life. Just be grateful that, okay, at least you have a home, you're with your family. Okay, you can't go outdoors, but be grateful that at least you're indoors, your family is fine, everything is good, the food, shelter, water, clothing, everything is, we are grateful for that. At least we're still living in first world. Access to everything is easier than other people in the third world or anywhere. So we are very, very grateful. Like how doctor mentioned earlier, like there was a volcano somewhere, there was something else somewhere. So at least that gratitude that, okay, it's a little better than that, and things are only going to get better. So acceptance is what is the call now. So if you don't accept, if you resist, it's only going to persist. So that is, I would say, focus on that. That aspect of mental health is very important.
Wonderful. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, wonderful. That Veena reminded me, like, Melanie, we were giving, like, and Sarah, we were giving a lot of seminar. And in one of my seminar, Melanie, what you are saying actually in other places, that people accept, like, okay, so like live with this. And this is the reality, because we are always living with it. And then in past seminar, it was very focused on COVID and Corona, the full seminar based on that. And I try to explain people, we never out of any kind of epidemic or epidemic kind of situation. These kind of virus are always around us. Okay, so I just give you like what happened in last 20 years. So if we say like this COVID is there and it will disappear and it should disappear, that's the not a natural thing. It's going to be there. Okay, it will mild down. Okay, and then we will proceed. So example is SARS happened in 2002. Okay, is it still there? Like after that, you keep hearing the bird flu like H1N1 and then H1N2, like H1N9. So many variants keep coming. It's like not never disappear, right? It's still you keep hearing about like the bird flu. Then 2009, like, and in 2013, 2015, that there was like MERS disease, like in Middle East, right? The Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome is there. Then there was a Ebola there. Okay, there's so many things. That's the whole thing. Because it is not happening in Hong Kong, so here we think like, okay, this is COVID is something new, and this is only happening to us. Why happening to us, right? But these kind of things keep always happening. These are the natural calamities. Okay, because the thing is that like how I explain this, whether it is a volcano, whether it's an earthquake, whether it is a cyclone, or whether it is an epidemic and pandemic, they are the same thing. It keep appearing time to time. It will never disappear. It's a part and parcel of our civilization, or like our universe, right? So it may mild down over the time period. And previously people heard a lot about, like discuss a lot about herd immunity. So that is the concept of the vaccination, that if the X number of people or majority number of the people develop, like take a vaccine, the virus become weakened. Okay. But at the same time, what happened? Viruses also keep mutating and then have a lot of variants and all those kind of things. So we should be like more humble towards it, rather than like, like to be very aggressive and to take it like really why this is happening and all this kind of thing. And that is the way the things will um, um, slowly die down. And we know like very meaningful um, advice from Melanie. Sarah is talking about like the vegan things. This is very important to understand. Plant-based diet, okay, protein, sitting, like I'm reminding all these things because people don't remember, like, and people just go here and there kind of things. But in with this today's discussion, there's some keyword came up, right? You need a serotonin, you need like the happy chemicals, you need a happy hormone, right? You need to take care of your guts, right? Digestion, absorption, sit on the floor, Vajrasan, right? Then the plant-based diet, a complete like the vegan, right? Local farms, Ayurvedic supplements, right? Herbal supplements, immune boosting, inflammation. So these are the things. So I think like we are pretty much under control. Like it's up to us. We should not be fear. And then when you say like I really love this, like the gratitude is the best attitude, and like that should be the way, rather than complain. And okay, we are facing the situation, let's say like today, we can't do anything about it. It's happening, right? If we focus our energy how to handle it, how to deal with it, we are more productive, we are more positive. So I think this is the main message with today's discussion we want to give to the people. Like, don't discuss what happened and why this happened, because it happened already. We put our energy that, okay, how to deal with this, so then we can become again normal in next 10-15 days. That is like the real investment over here, right?
Yep,
So I think like everyone discussed that. Veena, you should also share your views, with the people, like what is your opinion,
I mean, everything that Malini has shared, everyone has shared, this is something, yes, which is very well practiced. I personally do practice it. And I'm glad we have Naveda here. We are a platform to educate all these things that have been spoken about, shared. This is what we are, practicing and sharing knowledge and even giving a science based, evidence to all these things. So, as Malini said, yes, when we have other options of food and we can always do sprouting, and that is absolutely what is part of our diet. And I make sure that everyone around over here gets everything. That's what we get. That's what we eat on a daily basis, whether it's your lentils, your pulses, your sprouts, your fruits, your vegetables, your protein. Everything is balanced. Practicing yoga, meditation, breathing, practicing gratitude, always remaining in a positive frame of mind. Mr. Lal, who's so quiet right there, but he also has something to share. What does he do? For him, he sings. That's what keeps him happy, and he's always releasing all these positive chemicals from his brains, and everyone loves him because he's able to engage in positive hobbies, like singing. So, Mr. Lal, you please share with everybody what you've been doing to provide a solution to people.
Well, as I said, tomorrow I'm going to go to the club and take my mat there and go and sit. First thing, try to sit down as long as I can sit down, like Malini said, So I like to sit down. I've been, trying that for hard, but for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but I like to sit down for at least 45 minutes. So from tomorrow, I'm going to try that.
Well, I mean, the fact that if you are 80 is the new 50 and you can still sit in that posture, it's already very good for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes,
So
you know
don't,
what?
I guess, don't just jump up, go gradual. And I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, I'm
but I
trying.
think the main thing is what you have done in the last 2 years is that you have picked up on a passion that you truly love and you've engaged in singing and you have made people happy, you've made yourself happy. And positively engaging in an activity which keeps you in that frame of mind.
And
So,
I've made myself happy.
yeah, yeah. And other people around the world. So that's,
Yeah,
this is what we can all do.
yeah.
Actually, like this is the thing I want to add here, which go with like Malini's like mental health kind of thing. That I would say like Mr. Lal is a perfect example. If I
Yes,
want to give
he is.
someone, yeah, like I know him very well,
Totally.
so is a perfect example. What happened like happiness? If you're really happy, positive mind frame, and yeah, no anger. This is very, very important, right? So you create that aura around you, like the you are happy and the people around you are feeling happy. Suddenly there is a vibration, right? And I always notice like when this kind of vibration is there and the negativity is like really no room for the negativity, these people always do better than the people who are surrounded with the negative thoughts. It's a very well observed long-term observation kind of thing. So thank you very much, Mr. Lal, for being such a nice gentleman and inspired so many of us. And yes, I have I openly accepted that like as a purpose, like Mr. Lal is 80 plus now, and all the people, those who are, we are crossing 50, if we look to Mr. Lal and we can say, wow, like if we are not like, usually like, see, if we see the negative thought, what happened? Oh, we are 50 plus. But then we have someone here sitting with 80 years old. We said, no, we don't think about we are 50. We say like, we have a wonderful active 30 years ahead of our life to
Yes.
live. So it's like just framing how we think, right? So last year, I think Mr. Lal being like this campaign ambassador and his participation and many people who interacted with him really understood that why we talk about this campaign called 80 is new 50, because it's like in somehow what Malini you are saying, uh, we try to implement in a practical way that positive thinking,
Yes.
right? Bringing the like the right attitude, affirmation, right? So affirmation is the one thing, like, so Mr. Lal is the perfect
Perfect.
example of affirmation, right? I'm 80 years old, I'm still active. And yeah, one thing I really want to share with all the panel guests and the audience, like Mr. Lal has a group of friends and they are all 75 plus, and you will be like really surprised to hear that all these people walk like crazy. Someone walk 20,000 steps a day. One guy walks sometime 30,000 steps, 300,000 steps in a month. Can you believe this? And these are 75 plus people. Now when we talk to the young people, like 20 years, 25, 30, 35, 40, how much we walk, right? So we are not even close to what these guys are doing. So there's a lot to learn from people like Mr. Lal. And this is one of our objective, was our objective last year, and we will continue the same thing this year by keeping this three balance over here. So I could see that three beautiful balance in this panel. One is like the Melanie is talking about, like the mental, like, right? And then the nutrition and mental together, and the posture, that's very, very important. So let's put lifestyle kind of thing, your mind status and your habit, and the way you like really think and all that. Sarah is talking about like the vegan food, like the plant-based. So like, yes, if you cut out meat. And Sarah, this is very important. Like on behalf of Melanie, I want to add to you that vegan means not like compromising with the meat. If you want to become a vegan, or anyone to want to be vegan or vegetarian, be vegetarian. Enjoy the vegetarian food. Uh, don't try to take like a meat as like a vegetarian food. Like, so there's a lot of like fake meat kind of things. And it is true that it's very high in sodium, very high in sodium. And we have this record, like whenever we do the blood test with the people, the sodium level is so high. So what is happening in the hidden part, that the people, those who have a blood pressure, or they have some kind of like a cardio thing, they think I'm eating a plant-based diet, but their blood pressure is not helping, their sodium is so high, disbalancing kind of thing. So this is one of the very important point I picked up today. You can communicate within the vegan community kind of things, like this fake meat process preparation kind of things, right? So that's a very important technical point over here. So
Anyways, I'm very mindful about our time. It's
Yes,
10:30, and I think everybody has to sleep in early. But
yes.
thank you so much, everybody, for your conversations, for your discussions, for your sharing, for your insights. I hope, I am sure, all this will give the audience a lot more comfort, and solutions are out there for sure. Everyone, stay put, do your best, be responsible, and practice all the tools which are available, easily available. And I'm sure we can get through this in a beautiful way, like we have. It's been 2 years. Well, we'll see how much more long. Just stay positive and be happy and be grateful and laugh more and sing more and dance more. All
Thank
right.
you. Good
Thank you
night.
so much for being here.
Thank
And
you so much.
this is all up on Naveda's Facebook page. If you ever want to go back to it, you can, to share it with your friends and family. All right.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for your time.
thank you very much.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you.